My CS2 coach is giving me 90 days to go from 10,000 SR in Premiere to 20,000 SR in Premiere. So I hired a professional CS2 coach named Pienix, and he's giving me 90 days to improve my gameplay to 20,000 SR Premiere. I gained 6,800 SR in Premiere in 14 days. All credit goes to my coach Pienix and his amazing coaching sessions. As my subscribers know, I came from 10,000 SR and I've learned so much, and I'm finally able to put it all together in real games. In this video we will go over the other positions on Mirage, and in the next video we will go over the T side on Mirage. After that we will continue on other maps and also more high level strategies. So if you want to follow this 90-day challenge, make sure to follow the channel, and once again a huge thanks to all the new subscribers. You guys are the reason I make these videos. Let's head into the video.
So usually you will start window, okay, and basically you need to get good around moving around this corner. Right, you gotta be like very good at.
Yeah, that was clean. That was very clean.
Like jumping through this, right? But you have to get very good about going through this hole. And now you have to pick window, right? Now the first thing you're looking at is if your teammate is throwing a flash. If he's not throwing a flash, then ideally you want to flash for yourself. This is a shit flash, but it's better than nothing, and then it slightly delays your timing, right? If he is flashing, then
sorry for interrupting you. So you would never peek without the flash?
I would, but if I'm expecting them to have a full buy and an op, then I would be double thinking like about it, you know?
Okay, but like I'm
normally most of the time with the best spawn I would pick it anyways.
Okay.
But then you have to know that someone can pick you, you know? You'll always be faster here with the first spawn than the first spawns from the T side.
Yeah.
Well,
but you won't be faster if you have a bad spawn and they have a good spawn.
No, yeah, exactly. And a very nice way of picking is on top of this shit. Because what you need to, there's like three main ways of picking window, okay? So the most common is like, yeah, then it's like this, and then it's like this. This is with the first spawn. Yeah. Each of them has their advantages and disadvantages. The main advantage of being on top of wood is being not blinded by this flash. So as you can see, if I'm here, someone throws this flash. Oh, I'm blind, right? But if I'm on top of the wood, I'm not. Yeah.
And the third way you said is when you get the best spawn?
Yeah, this is when you get the best spawn. And here you don't get blinded by this exact flash as well. But the point of this is that they are peeking window angle, right? And then they don't expect you to be on this angle with the op, right? Okay. Then, well, you're just holding, and you have to be aware of underground push. So basically, people are gonna be going under. Generally, your teammates short will hear people under, right? But you have to be very aware because they can sneak up and just peek you like that as you're in window, right? Yeah. So the way to hold mid still and not be like exposed to under is to crouch. So if you're crouching here, you're actually not visible to under, and the guy from under can only see you if he comes out like that, right? Yeah. But then he's exposed to cone, so he's not gonna do that. So if he's like here, not exposed to cone, he doesn't see you. Okay. Yeah, we're still talking about early round. So there is a couple other plays available to you in the early round. For example, you can start B if you want to, because a lot of times on higher level it will happen that you will just get smoked off all the time in window, right? And then you can't do anything, although there is a counter to it. You will crouch here, look at top right of this black thingy, and you right click jump through. Yeah? Yeah, but I'm assuming you can't do that every round because it will get like pretty obvious. At some point they will just hold you. Yeah. So you can do that like once, but then you gotta start in different positions. So for example, you can start B. So you can just run B, right? And you either know this like van jump, which I probably am not hitting the first time. Nope. But do you know there is like a jump here, right? I mean, I saw nothing do it once, I think, but I don't think I've ever been able to do that one. Yeah. And then you can peek B ups, or a simpler way, you can get boosted by your teammate. If your teammate just stands on this shadow here, you can jump on top of him, and then you can jump on top of balcony. And then you either hold it like that, you can hold it like this, or you will just completely pick it and hold towards underground. Yeah?
And is there something you should tell your allies? Because I'm assuming.
So your
gonna
ally,
be free on B?
your teammate has two choices. Either your teammate rotates off and leaves you completely, and generally when you're doing this, your B player or your shot player should start window.
Okay.
And then either your teammate is coming up here and pushing up B apps and clearing it out, and then you're leaving him here.
Oh, okay. That's
And you're leaving him and then just leaving, or you're just staying here and holding the angle yourself, and then shooting one, and then maybe switching with the short player, for example, or something.
Yeah, okay.
So this is the R2 options. So you can start B. Obviously, you can start short, but starting short doesn't really, like, it's not really that good to run from B because they will hear you. It's better to actually jump there yourself. So there is like a jump like that, right? And jumping here.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to copy that anytime soon, but.
Yeah, and also another thing available to you is to jump here and then jump like that, right? And then peek from a ladder. Also very strong to do. This is how you play with the op. So now you can also start A. So you can just start being in ticket. Like you can start ticket and just hold ramp like that, yeah? And that's a known setup in pro play where you're like ticket holding ramp. Your teammate is on top of bulk holding palace, and your other teammate is playing con/jungle. And then when this player, con, he calls out that they're taking mid, right? Let's say he's playing around with the smoke, just like normal con player would do, and he says like a lot out mid, right? Then you would come here from ticket, and you would do this flash for your teammate, walking forward. And your teammate would push ramp on this flash. Yeah? That guy who was on top of palace. And then after he has ramp, he would go back and hold palace and ramp for you. And you basically will go on top of ticket and you'll hold con from ticket. But that's a bit more advanced when you're playing actually like in a team environment. If that makes sense. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
This is like a reaction to them going out mid when you're playing this setup.
Yeah,
but this setup basically
you need like reliable teammates around you to do that. So if you're playing like with 3 friends and you're sitting here and one's playing connect, you can actually communicate that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming like in pugs it's not really
in pugs the way it will look like is you just say I'll start ticket this round, and you just hold and you see where your teammates are. And then if your teammates are taking ramp control or holding palace for you, you can take a risk. And for example, if your teammate is holding palace, you just go here and you're still aware that they can come ramp. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's how it would work in...
Okay.
Or you can also start here and hold short if they're running up short really quick. And you can also peek con or peek ramp. Or you can also peek palace. Oh, this is deep. This is only the early round, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, peeking palace, obviously for all these plays you have spawn, you need to have spawn. Peeking palace is like this. Yeah.
And will you be there sooner than the
yeah.
spawn? Okay.
So you can do the molly. If you have the best spawn and good enough movement, you will beat them.
Okay.
I mean, there is a slight chance that someone beats you and it's running really fast, but unlikely. You can peek ramp, so you can go like molly ramp and peek here and stay on this kind of an angle.
And with that molly, they can't be on the right corner?
They can.
Right?
They can.
Okay.
But you're just taking a risk that haven't been there. Or you can clear it as well, like it's okay. But I would just be taking a risk. If I don't hear any steps and nobody's picking me, I'm just taking that risk, you know?
Okay, gotcha.
And you can pick con. If you have the best spawn for con, you will just be a con player, like this, and either ask for a flash on timing from your con player to flash that on like a timing where you're here and he's flashing it and then you're peeking. Or you can throw a flash for yourself. So you can be throwing a flash and then you have a second flash, you just throw it like this as you're running. This is less effective, slightly delayed timing.
So you would also recommend these other positions when you don't have like a good spawn for mid?
No.
Or is it only when you get smoked off everywhere?
Con is only... sorry, I would recommend this place when you don't have a good spawn for mid actually as well.
Okay.
Because if you don't have a good spawn for mid, you might get smoked later anyways, or you just might get like posted on. Now, the mid round, you should be rotating between A and B. So the way you rotate towards A is this is a very powerful angle to hold. Obviously, if you can run around towards stairs as well, and you can do the same play as the con player is doing. So peeking ramp. You can rotate towards ticket mid-round as well, if you're expecting it to be an A hit. You can also rotate towards ticket for A. So you could, for example, be doing that. Mulling palace. And then peeking ramp. Okay, you've seen nothing ramp, and you're rotating to ticket, right? That could be one of your plays as well.
Okay.
And when you're rotating to B, there's a couple angles you need to know. So you need to know this angle, cross from side to bench, the car angle, and obviously, like, you can peek first this, then this, right? This is a pretty good angle to hold. Backside, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Also, by the way, an early round push play can be pushing under. You're just going here, and you're just picking under.
And you will also, like, if you have a good spawn, you will beat their timing?
Beat their timing, you mean what? You mean you will...
I mean, you'll be there earlier than they can.
You might no, not here. No, not on this angle. They will be here. But you have an AWP, and they're like generally running forward with W, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to counter strafe on this. Oh, there is rifling in window, of course, because not every round you will have not every round.
Actually, a very good point. I completely forgot about that too.
Not every round you have an AWP, right? So how do you rifle? Well, you rifle slightly differently because you cannot afford to hold angles like that with a rifle because you're just gonna get wrecked by AKs, right? Yeah. So playing an AK in window is based off more, or an M4, sorry, is based more off getting flashes from your teammates and picking on right timings. A very common play early round is to do this, jump here and play like window like that. So you would have to learn that jump if you want to play this angle. Just basically strafing for info, like this, and checking if they're actually out mid is good. Well, then when you're rotating, you can't really afford to hold these angles, right? You have to come out and actually play like the same angles as the con player would if he's rotating. Yeah. You can play double con without any problems as well. And you can as well push mid. So you can just like nade like that and push towards top mid if you want. Or if you don't want to announce yourself with a nade, you're gonna run like that and throw a flash high and peek. Yeah, as a short player, it's pretty straightforward. Every single round you pretty much run mid and you throw a flash like that and you're fighting mid. And then if there is nobody, you can still hold it for a moment. You have to be aware of the under push, just like the window player, right? So if you want to keep holding mid, you can throw a molly like that. That lands it under, and you can still hold mid, right? And then after getting a kill, you probably want to fall back and use your util, right? So the util you're gonna use here is like a smoke like this. And this is a smoke that just extends out towards short and creates additional angles for you. Like you can go into ladder, right, without them knowing. You can go up here and jump on top of this thing whenever you want to, right, and get a refrag in con. For example, when your teammate's fighting them, right, and they will not know when you're going there. And yeah, basically that's how you play. So you start by fighting mid, and then of course there is molly behind boxes here, and then you're gonna be falling back with util after getting like 1 or 2 kills, right? And
are there situations where you're saying like you shouldn't be fighting mid?
Yeah, there are. Anti-eco. So when you expect them to have pistols, and for example your teammate mid, right, window player, he doesn't see anyone, that it's quite obvious that they want to hit a side, right? On an eco, and the pistols is very common to rush B. So you can stay B, and here are like very powerful spams. I will show you. So spam number 1, you're next to this wall and you're aiming at the bottom corner of this. And you're spamming in this exact manner. So it spams people coming up here, right?
Okay. And you would recommend this spam when you hear footsteps, or just like in general when you're expecting anything?
In general. The thing is, your B player should generally be throwing a molly like that. So it lands deep every single round in the beginning. So people with Glocks then, they would be like standing here and waiting for the molly, and that's why the spam.
And one more question, like when the B player throws that molly, the T's can't be fast enough to rush past that? Like, they
They
can't be
can.
already...
They can. Yeah. They can, but they have to run with their knives, and they'll have to take some molly damage.
Okay.
So that's why the B player, after throwing this, should jump spot like 2 times and tell you that nothing's there. Well, the second spam is here. And that's how I would spam it. It's a bit further. So if they're standing like in a line, you know, waiting for the molly, then, or even if they're not waiting for the molly and just waiting here in general, you know, they doesn't have to be molly for them to wait here, you know. Maybe they're just crossing and you're gonna hit them. But with the molly, it works extra well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how you play short versus eco. Yeah,
and for example, you're expecting them to full buy, they have an AWP, they have everything, and your window player gets smoked. Do you still try to fight short, or are you holding more passive angle?
I would still fight it. Oh, I fucked it up. I would still fight it, but yeah, after oh, what the hell I did? What is this? Wait, I forgot how to oh, this is how you flash, sorry. If I would fight here, and then if I see them coming out, for example, I would fall back probably, right? So, as I said, if they overwhelm you, if they, for example, blind you and you feel unsafe to pick that angle again because your window player is smoked, then you fall back and use util. Or you can even play a passive angle. This is a very strong angle for a short player, because the guy from under is gonna be jumping up like that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna catch him mid-jump. There is no way of going up this bench and immediately being accurate, so you always catch him. This is a very strong angle, because usually when you're standing here, the guy from bench, if he jumps up, right, he will see your head with the AK. But here, if you're crouching, he doesn't see your head, and you can hold con, and you can hold up short.
Okay.
Also, being in ladder is very good versus, like, as a short player, because you can peek towards under, and you can even like jump on top of this, right? If your window player breaks it, and you can pick mid, and then you can fall back, and you're very mobile, right?
And you would just try to keep these positions random, or do you also decide these positions based on the enemies, what they're doing?
Which ones?
So you told me like 3 different angles, like the angle to headshot on bench, then the angle where he can't see you, and then the angle that you just showed.
No, I would base them off. So, for example, if your con player, right, like has mid, and he just smokes himself, right, and he holds your short like that, right, and you see him in the con, you can hold this because you know that no one is gonna walk up on you like this, right?
Exactly.
So you can afford to hold this for him.
Yeah.
But for example, if it's a 5v3, right, and you just killed like one person here, and you don't have any other util or anything, and it's a 5v3 and you want to just play more passive, but you also want to grab the info, you would position yourself here, right?
Okay.
Or here, because you have the advantage, you don't need to peek them. And ladder, I would play any round, honestly, but not on anti-eco. Any full buy, because then you're very mobile towards A and you can move around.